So I'm just in the process of giving my little workshop here a pretty big tidy up and reorganization, which is why it currently looks like this. And one nice thing that I think I could do to make the place a bit more organized would be to come up with some kind of nice storage solution for these corner clamps. These clamps are really handy and I use them all the time, but I've just been storing them in the cardboard box that they came in, which is a little bit annoying every time you want to take them out or put them away, especially for these clamp parts that come in 3 pieces, because that involves unscrewing it and taking it apart and putting each piece into its separate section in the box. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to do that every time. I want to just take that as it is and chuck it somewhere so it's ready to use for the next time. So this is my design. It's basically a square box that's rotated 45 degrees into a diamond. And so the right angle parts will just sit on top, and then I'm going to put some perspex across the front because I think that will look cool. And that will basically turn it into a bucket that I can just throw these clamp parts into. So I had these cut-offs from some drawers that I built in the last couple of videos, and they are wide enough for 2 sets of these, which is great. One thing I really struggle with though is picturing the size of something until I'm seeing it in front of me. So I have no idea how big I'm going to build this thing. I don't want to build it so small that it's kind of useless, but also don't want it to take up any more space than it needs to. Perspex halfway, those sitting on top. I want it wide enough that I can reach in and grab them. It feels like a good size. So an opening that is 7 inches. I'm going to make the back out of 6mm MDF. This is an offcut from a dog bowl stand that I made last year. Although I'm sure I don't need to tell you that. I'm sure the first thing you thought when you saw this was doggy bone. too big. Anyway, what can you do? This material like really isn't the nicest. The veneer is like 0.5 millimeter, so it's really not the nicest to work with. So it was only ever gonna look so cool, I guess. You know, for what it is, like it's fine. No, I do like it. Why am I being so negative? I like it. It's good. Cut this cleat off camera. I'm just gonna kind of figure out where I want to position it on the back of this. I guess it'd be kind of nice if the corners of the box like landed on the cleat. Hey. And so there we are. Let me go over what I think was successful about it and maybe less so successful. The color is absolutely awful. I don't know how clear it is on camera, but I used linseed oil and it just yellowed it so much. I think a clear coat would have been better. At least I know that for the future now. Earlier on I said that it was way too big, and I actually take that back. I think it's the perfect size. I haven't got a second set of these clamps yet, but like I said, I do want some more, and so there's room there for expansion. I think they'll fit nicely. If it was smaller, it probably would be a bit more awkward to use. I think sometimes things just need to be the size that they need to be. By contrast, a few years ago I built this thing for my battery chargers. I really just built it so small to where it kind of prohibits the intended function of it, you know, and so I definitely had that in mind when I was putting this together. And I think if it was an inch or two smaller, you know, it wouldn't have saved me that much wall space in the grand scheme of things, but it may have been a little less practical and kind of more annoying to use. So just in terms of like solving a problem that I had and kind of the overall making this place a bit more functional, it's a 10 out of 10. I think it's great, and I'm glad I made it. It's going to make life around here just like 2% easier, which if you do that enough times, ooh, baby. So that's it really. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.